So it's session 3. Welcome back. We're so excited to get into the practical part of our boot camp, really starting to make a game plan for our growth in this next season. We want to start today with this video on just some practical planning tips as you begin to plan, just some things to keep in mind as we get going. So, as we fill in this template, we want to remind you to start where you are, not where you hope to be. Don't try to do too much. Don't try to push yourself too hard. We want to lean into the fact that the goal is to be less accidental and more intentional in our pursuit of Jesus. So, doing all the things or stacking things up on our shoulders as high as possible, that's not the win here. The win is being more intentional in our pursuit of Jesus, in our growth in Jesus, in our fruitfulness with Jesus, with both Him and on the way that He has positioned us in the world. So don't mistake busyness for growth. Don't think just because I'm doing all these things, I'm growing. Instead, do the right things repeatedly, and that's going to lead you to growth. And try to make a plan that will stretch you, but not break you, to stretch you, right? To help you grow by doing things you've not done before, to stretch you, but not break you, not overwhelm you, not frustrate you, not heap guilt on you. The goal in this, again, is not like a stack of to dos that leads to like a legalism, but really like a structure that helps you live within some boundaries that you've set for yourself to grow on purpose. As we get going, I want to pull from the book Atomic Habits, a book by James Clear, just to help you think through some practical things as you begin to plan on building some habits of practice in your own life. And so, James Clear says there's 4 things that you need to do in order to really be successful in building a habit. The first thing he says is you need to build cues in your world, means making it obvious. And so, a couple of pointers here. He says, so get clear. Like when you're making a plan, say, at this time on this date, I'm going to do A, B, and C. Like be specific. And this is one of those things where as you make your template, it needs to move into your calendar during the week for this to really become successful. You need to do things at the same time or the same, or it needs to be something that you are scheduling and building in with some intention. You need to set up your environment for success. And so he points to the fact, like, if you want to have healthy eating habits, you remove unhealthy foods and you set out healthy foods in your environment to remind you to eat those things. It's the same kind of things. Like if you need to be in your Bible, then put your Bible in a place where you have to encounter it regularly. Put those post-its on your mirror. Do the kinds of things that help you have to encounter the habit that you're wanting to build. And the third thing he says is to habit stack. And this is the idea of putting a habit next to something that you're already in the process of doing. So, for instance, if you are a coffee drinker and you want to spend time in prayer, put prayer as a part of your coffee routine. Put it in place in a way where you're stacking habits together that will build intentionally. That's a great way to kind of keep those cues in front of you. The second thing he talks about is craving, making the habit attractive. So he says that you should try to bundle the things that you're trying to develop with things that are tempting to you, like in a positive way. And so you think about habits where if you're trying to, again, pray often, you are a coffee drinker, then putting it with something that you enjoy doing can help you build a habit that is there. Make it a group habit. He points to a lot of people who join workout groups or workout teams. Doing things with a group leads to accountability. It leads to encouragement. It leads to the kinds of things that you need to really make a habit stick. And so invite people into some of the habits that you're trying to cultivate. Some of the things that are on our list are actually community practices, but some of the other things you can still do with other people. You can read the Bible with other people. You can get on the same game plan for reading or prayer or Sabbath. Invite people into this to make it something where there's a natural accountability in what's happening. And the third thing he says is ritualize to stir desire, like build processes that kind of help you long for habits. And so if you're going to pray, then like take time to build the habit, to create space, create an environment that you like light a candle, do things. Not that there's no power in a candle, but the candle itself could help set the mood, set the vibe, like set yourself up for success in the way that you're trying to stir up that craving for the habits that you're trying to cultivate. The third thing he says is that you have to make the habit easy enough. So you'd have to take action. So a couple of great pointers here. He says you should do the habit often before you do it perfectly, knowing that the volume, meaning like the capacity, the more you do it, that's going to build the habit itself. So think more about getting it done rather than getting it done perfectly. This is easier for some of us than others. But then do what's repeatable and then do the reps. So do repeatable things. This is a good thing, especially if you're biting off something that's new, to not do something that's so far beyond what you're capable of that you drowned in it the first couple of times. So if you're trying to grow in prayer, don't set the goal of praying for an hour. Set the goal of praying for 5 minutes. You can do 5 minutes repeatedly. Do what's repeatable and then do the reps. And then lastly, reduce friction. This is the idea is like there's going to be things that are hard, there's going to be resistance to it. And in the ways that you can eliminate friction in your life, do it. And so if you are like, hey, I'm not a morning person, then setting all of your habits to require you to get up 2 hours early is a way of introducing that habit with friction rather than without it. So try to think of other ways. How can I build this into places that there's less friction in doing something that always already is going to be challenging to me? The last thing is to make it satisfying. Think about a reward. And so you can create a personal loyalty program. Right? This is like the treat yourself model where it's like, hey, I did this 7 times. And so I'm going to buy myself a little treat. You can find ways to do this in all sorts of ways. But especially if like socially, if you are like, hey, I want to eat with other people, but that's hard for me, then like reward yourself for that stuff. Give yourself a little solitude, give yourself some you time. Find some ways to bless yourself and reward yourself as you're going through it. Measure and track your progress. This is a great thing. Again, this template that we're filling out is going to give you a great way to kind of look back and reflect on your week, especially during Sabbath, and to reflect on what you've done. Track the things that you're praying for. Track the things that you're doing, and see where you're making your progress. And lastly, he says to gamify your progress. And while this is challenging with some of the habits that we're talking about, things like reading the Bible, I mean, the Bible app gives you badges for highlighting and tracking progress in tracks that you're doing, or commitments like that you make there. There's all sorts of ways that this has already been done, and apps that are really great and free and accessible that can help you build habits. As we go forward, I'm going to remind you of some of these things, and I really just pray that you try to be really practical, as well as proactive, because the hugest win in this season is for you to click one click towards more intentional in some of these areas of practice. Know that as we start filling out this template, there's room for you to try things, to name things, to change things. But the biggest win is going to be for you to make a plan that you can actually do. And so take some of these practical tips and let's push them forward as we start in this next session. Bless your world.